Hey, what's up, guys? It's the M00NLightNinja here, and I'm joined here with RGL Official for a podcast on E3. Now, there's two versions to this podcast, one here and one over on the Lazy Gamers channel. In this podcast, I missed the first couple seconds, and I also cut out a bit. So, if you want to see the bits that were removed from this podcast, please go over to RGL Official's channel over at the Lazy Gamers and check it out over there. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Little podcast about E3, whatever. So there's actually a few conferences that I missed, namely Nintendo, Ubisoft, and Bethesda, I believe. Moonlight, did you catch every conference?
Yeah, I caught everything.
Yeah.
Yep.
How was Ubisoft? A lot of people are saying Ubisoft was the best.
Yeah, Ubisoft was actually pretty good. I didn't mind Ubisoft.
Really, that's what people say. So, in your opinion, I felt this E3 was pretty weak, to be honest. Like this E3, none of the conferences, except for the ones I missed, because I really can't say about anything about the ones I missed. But a lot of the conferences this year, I felt were really lackluster. They just didn't have a lot to show off. Even Microsoft, they had a ton of indie games, but none of them really brought me in. Got my interest. So how did you feel? What did you feel was the best?
Yeah, well, I was sort of the same there. It did feel a little lackluster. There wasn't really too many games that really got me that excited, apart from maybe one or two.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Every year I'm getting really sick of Microsoft and EA with their indie development, and every year seeing the same kind of like weird art style games that don't really focus on gameplay. They more or less just exist as a tech demo for their art style. I'm really sick of seeing those. Like I want to see more substance. I want to see someone really focus on the fun and less about the art style. And I feel like we didn't get that. Like I said in a previous video that I didn't want to see as many sequels this year, but I didn't want to see indie games either. I wanted to see brand new stuff. I thought Anthem was great, but I wanted to see more like Anthem, and it's a shame that we only got one game like that.
Yeah, I understand completely. Yeah, this year just didn't feel as great. They need I need more games that give you more impact and like you said, less indie games and like actual games themselves.
Yeah, there was I don't know if you were thinking this too, but we haven't seen it since 2015. Where the hell was Final Fantasy VII this year?
Oh, I
Oh,
honestly don't think that game is ever coming out.
dude. I was pissed off. I was like, what the fuck? Where is this game? We've all been waiting for everyone's waiting for Final Fantasy VII. How can they wait this long? If I didn't know any better, I'd say the game is like on the brink of cancellation at this point. This is not a healthy thing for a game in development.
Yeah. They keep saying there's going to be episodic or something. I don't know how that's going to work, but honestly, I just don't see that game ever going to be a thing. I can see it being cancelled later on.
I could see it being canceled too. You're supposed to hear about a game at least once a year. That's just what good developers do. They at least drop a tease once a year, and it's just not really been happening. I mean, they did. If I'm correct, Square did drop, I think, like a screenshot earlier this year, but
Oh, did they?
that that's like the bare minimum. Like you need more than that.
Oh,
You
yeah, for
need
sure.
you need to show more.
Exactly.
I was really disappointed. Death Stranding too caught me by surprise that it didn't make it there this year. That's Hideo Kojima's new game. I was really hoping it would be here. I wanted to see more of what Hideo Kojima was gonna do, and yeah, I was really shocked to not see Norman Fetus. What about Dragon Ball? I know that's got to get you pretty excited. Dragon
Oh,
Ball.
Dragon Ball. I'm pretty high for Dragon Ball.
I know, dude. I am so hyped for Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Fighters. Yeah, all those characters are 3D, but they're made to look 2D. I think that's really cool. I love what Arc System Works is doing with their games. I can't wait to see more Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and I think the very
Um,
last Dragon Ball 2D game that I've ever played was Budokai 3, which was back in the PlayStation 2 era. So it's been a long time since we've actually had a 2D fighter.
yeah, I know, right? Like I saw Xenoverse and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, but I'm more into the 2D fighters. But I knew that if Dragon Ball ever got a 2D game, that I would have to jump on board because Dragon Ball, like, I haven't seen it, but Dragon Ball is one of those things you can look at and say, wow, that is cool. Even if you have no idea what the context is, even if you have no idea what the story is, you look at it and you say, wow, that is something I want to see. That's something I want to get into. And that's how I felt about Dragon Ball Fighters. You look at it and you were into it right away.
Yeah, well, I'm a massive Dragon Ball fan myself, and it's 3v3, so it sort of has that Marvel vs. Capcom feel to it. So that was interesting.
Yeah, yeah. Arc System Works. It almost appears to me like they're trying to go up against Capcom. They're trying to almost directly compete with Marvel vs. Capcom this year, which kind of surprises me. But I just can't pull anything else from Dragon Ball Fighters. The game just kind of came out of nowhere, and it's a good tag team 3v3 fighting game, and I can't I can't imagine Marvel vs. Capcom game in existence now because this game looks so cool.
Yeah,
I really can't
it
wait
really
to give
does.
it a shot.
I will say though, they only showed up to the Boo Saga. I know you don't know much about the anime itself, but I've been watching for years. And yeah, the Boo Saga is like the end of Z in the episode list. I'm sort of hoping that they go beyond that and go up to the current time, which is the Universe Tournament, because they've missed, like, there's so much between Z and the current Super that they could add into the game. So I hope that's added in as well.
It's what it is to go even further beyond.
Yes.
That was a really shitty Dragon Ball. Anyways, so what else happened that really shocked us this year? I think I was really happy to see original Xbox games getting some love.
Yes.
As a huge advocate of original Xbox myself, I love that original games are coming back.
Yeah, I'm keen for that as well. There's a couple original Xbox games that I wanted to play myself because I never actually had the original Xbox. I was a PlayStation 2 guy, and I'm looking forward to them being backwards compatible. So now I can actually play some of them. Like I wanted to play Conker's Live and Reloaded. I never got a chance to play that, so I'm keen on that. And you talked to me about MechAssault a lot, so it'd be good to look into that as well.
Having been working on a MechAssault game, like, I have no choice. I'm almost always talking about that now. But yeah, no, one thing that's got me worried, and no one seems to be asking about this. Every time I look on Twitter, I don't see any comments about this, but I wonder if they'll be turning on the online servers for the select games that they bring over.
Yep.
Because for me, a lot of what made the original Xbox great was the introduction of Xbox Live. Everybody wanted a piece of Xbox Live. And what I'm worried about is that they're not gonna do that. They're gonna bring multiplayer based games like MechAssault, like Halo 2, and I honestly can't speak for Crimson Skies, but those really multiplayer heavy games, and the multiplayer is just not gonna work on them. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. If they're not gonna do it, then why make the decision to bring those games back? So I'm kind of worried about the online servers.
No, yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, it's sort of a big thing, Xbox Live, when it first come out. So they should be bringing that back. If they don't, then that's sort of retarded.
That's a letdown.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if there's any other word to describe it. It would just be disappointing. It'd be a letdown, because that everybody who gets original Xbox games, they get them because they want to play Xbox Live. A lot of the people who play MechAssault because we can play it on X-Link Kai, and we can play it through LAN tunneling and have multiplayer matches even to this day. It's fantastic. But if they return that and they don't have the heart of the multiplayer there, then I just don't see a lot of I don't see the backwards compatibility original Xbox program doing well. People will get the games, then they just no one will actually play them. They'll just be sitting there until someone needs space, and then they'll delete them en masse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sort of wondering if they'll have achievements now.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like, I'm thinking this is just emulation. I don't think they're gonna add. I hope they do. Don't get me wrong. That would be a great reason to go back if they're not gonna bring multiplayer back. But I don't see them doing that for some reason. I hope they do. I don't know if they're gonna go that extra mile with it. I think they're just doing it on Fandom and nothing else.
Yep.
I hope they do, but I mean, with the amount of surprises I've been hit with this year, which spoiler alert isn't many, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do that. If they just ported the game single player only over and that was that. It'd be a real shame, but I see it happening.
Yes, especially since
Yeah.
there's so many good games out there with multiplayer.
What did they talk about at the Nintendo conference? Again, I didn't tune into it. Did they talk about anything noteworthy there?
Um, they brought out this weird Mario plus Rabbids, which is
I've
it's
heard about that. Yeah.
yeah, that's weird. I don't know how that works. It's some sort of RPG sort of element to it. It's just a weird crossover.
Yeah, that's really weird. No Smash though. No, nothing like
No, no
that.
Smash. I was a little disappointed that they didn't have any Zelda either. The only Zelda thing they mentioned was DLC for Breath of the Wild, which I
Well, it
mean,
makes sense. With Breath of the Wild just coming out, I would at least next year.
yeah.
Um,
But still, I would
but
have liked,
I know what you
some
mean.
sort of
It
new
would be
game.
nice if they kept it. If they kept it up, they know Zelda's gonna do well now if they keep making games like Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah,
So I would fully expect more and more to come out faster and faster. But for now, I think they're just kind of dipping their feet in the water. They must have been playing it safe. But I feel like based on what I know, which isn't much about the Nintendo conference, they really could have, if they had really brought the heat, they could have swept Microsoft and Sony right off their feet.
oh yeah.
Because the conferences were so weak this year. The announcements were just so weak. How many zombie games did we see? Oh my god,
Oh, I know, right?
too many zombie games. I mean, Microsoft. I almost fell asleep halfway through all those indie games. Like, I don't even remember half of the names of the games from the conference because, one, there were too many that went on for too long, and two, like, they're just boring, forgettable art style games. It's you, you get sick of seeing that stuff,
Yep.
and it was just so weak. I don't understand what went wrong. Like, I thought that this was going to be the year that Microsoft came in with those old IPs and said, "Hey, look, we've got new stuff, that isn't all stupid art style bullshit. We've got this brand new stuff,
Yep.
nothing anyone's ever seen. Halo might not be there, but we've got all these new old games that everybody loves." And that's another thing too. Where the fuck was Halo?
Ah, no, right? I was so
Why didn't
disappointed.
why didn't the Awakening the Nightmare DLC get the main stage? That's a
Ah,
huge announcement. Did
yeah,
you
I
see
was
that
so
trailer?
disappointed. I was waiting for Halo that whole
Do you see that
conference and
trailer for
just
Awakening the
nothing.
Nightmare? Wild. It was bonkers. Why didn't that get the main stage?
I don't know.
They're gonna announce DLC for everything else, but they're not gonna announce Halo DLC.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, there were a couple games that got DLC on the main stage. I don't remember now, but I think at Sony's conference they announced DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn. They announced DLC and they gave it the main stage. And at the EA conference, they announced DLC for Battlefield, which we knew was coming, but they gave it a trailer and they gave it a lot of stage time, to be honest.
Yep.
And that was really cool. I'm happy to see that they're really really trying hard with their DLC. But then like Halo gets some cool ass DLC, campaign DLC, adding new missions and cutscenes, and it just doesn't. It just they kind of just do it in the post show.
Well, is it campaign DLC? Because I just put it down to, being a
It
new
is.
flood
It is
thing.
campaign DLC.
Okay.
And
That's
there were
cool.
probably I would not be surprised if they announced the Flood as a playable faction
Well,
in
yeah, see, that's
multiplayer.
what I thought it
Added some
was.
new Flood leaders as DLC. That'd
Yeah.
be amazing. I'd love that. Yeah, I don't know I don't know what happened with all that though. They just forgot. Also, I heard Eagle was supposed to get a trailer on the main stage and that didn't show up either for KI.
It came out this morning, actually.
Yeah, I thought they announced it was going to be on the main stage, but it just wasn't. It was completely absent from the show,
Yeah, well,
which
KI.
is weird.
Yeah, well, KI's gone downhill a lot, so
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about KI anymore, but I was kind of expecting it at the very least. Like, okay, show something that we know, to break from all these indie games, and they didn't. Another game I was really disappointed with, and I know a lot of people are hyped for this, but you know, Sea of Thieves on the stage, people had been playing it for so long. People have been playing it for years. Well, not years, but I know a couple people who've been playing the alpha for a little while. And I don't know why they gave it so much stage time.
Oh, so much stage time.
The trailer didn't really show us anything we didn't already know. So I felt like that was a huge waste of time. Um, and really didn't need all that stage time. And the same thing with that one game. There was I forget what it's called now, but did you see that Overwatch clone or one of the many Overwatch clones where they were on the Xbox stage? They had them as
Oh,
guy to commentate.
yeah. I thought it looked like very Team Force.
And it was so awkward
Fortress.
because
Yeah.
nobody knows about that game, nobody cares, and then this one guy marches on stage and starts commentating, and it's like, what the hell is going on?
I know,
It was
right?
like, nobody knows about this game. You have to show us a little bit more about this game before we expect. Oh, but no, it was like, oh, we're esports now. Immediate, like, first announcement of the game, first word of the game, commentator. And it was like, okay, calm yourself. It didn't generate. It just felt awkward. There were a lot of cringy ass awkward moments this year, on the Microsoft stage more than anything else. There was a lot of moments where they just did things like they brought that dude out with the huge forehead to play piano for Ori. I mean, you could feed a family of 4 on that forehead. That thing was massive. And they brought him out to play piano, and it was like, okay. I mean, I never played Ori. I'm not gonna say it's a bad game or anything, but like, I don't care. Was the piano really worth the effort? A lot of people did. A lot of people freaked out though. So I mean, I really can't say. But yeah, very very strange shows. EA at the EA conference, the drum line,
Oh yeah. What even was that about?
that was Madden. And I don't even think they showed a lot of Madden. They like opened the show with Madden and then never mentioned it again. But yeah, EA was weird too. I didn't expect them to open the show with Madden. I didn't expect them to open the show with EA Sports. I mean, yeah, it's kind of all they got, but I think it would have been better if they opened the show with something else. They should have opened the show with that Anthem teaser.
Can we just
People would
like?
have freaked out.
Can we just delete all sports games? I hate sport games so much. They're so boring.
I can't say I hate them through and through because I have played, like, when you've got a living room full of people. I remember I stayed in a house with a couple college students a little while ago, and we everyone got in the living room. We all cracked open a cold one with the boys, and we sat down and we played NHL. And man, things got heated in that living room. It was hype, but that's all it's good for. It's really catered to the dude bro audiences, and that's not, dude bro audiences don't watch E3. That's not really something you should be, just throwing out there, opening the show with at E3, because nobody really cares about EA and their sports line. I think it would have been better to open the show with Anthem.
Yeah.
As a, hey, look, tomorrow we got the Microsoft conference. Come and check more out on Anthem there. And then, I mean, other than that, like, after the Battlefield DLC, they showed Need for Speed. Oh my god, dude! You saw my video on how angry I was when Need for Speed was announced, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
Oh,
that.
man. Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, dude, they don't get it. It's like 343 with Halo. They just don't get it. I grew up with Need for Speed. I played back in, I forget, it was so long ago. 2004 was probably the first time I played a video game, because my first video game was like Mech Assault 1 and Halo 2.
Yeah.
Within days of each other, I played both those games, and me and my brother had a blast. And we played Need for Speed Underground, which at the time I guess was an old game, because I don't remember when it came out, but the first Underground came out a while before Halo 2 did. And yeah, like, it just had those good driving mechanics. It had the music, the memorable tracks, and that's all you needed. And the endless tunnel too. I don't know. Have you ever played Underground? It came out on PlayStation, didn't
No,
it?
no, I'm not really into car games myself.
Yeah, though, Underground had that endless tunnel where the car would just be rolling through really slow. It was like 5 kilometers an hour, and it'd be rolling through so slow. And Little John and the East Side Boys was playing in the background, and you just don't forget that stuff. But this new Need for Speed kind of throws everything away. for generic Michael Bay garbage. And I got really mad. I was like, what the fuck are they doing to my game?
Well, I mean, I
So
like the explosions and stuff, but I've never like played Need for Speed, so I wouldn't really know how that affects you.
I just think there's a time and a place for explosions.
Yep.
That was a Burnout thing. And Burnout is another great IP that just disappeared off the face of the earth. And it needs to come back. That's another thing I was hoping they would announce that just didn't happen. Leave the explosions and the destruction of Burnout, and just have Need for Speed be a good racer.
Yeah.
If they made a Need for Speed game just like Forza Horizon, what else do you need? Perfect way to combat Forza Horizon is just to make a Need for Speed game, a nice big open world Need for Speed game that's about the racing and the music. That's all you need. You don't need weird fucking explosions and shit. It didn't fit. So yeah, I thought the EA conference was pretty weak, and then Microsoft came after, and the indie games, and we all know about that.
Yep.
And then yeah, the Anthem reveal was cool at the end, and that was pretty much the whole Microsoft conference was just indie games. And then Sony was Sony? God of War. Looked very cool. God of War looked amazing.
Oh, I loved God of War. It was great.
Yeah, it looked it. I mean, they didn't show much more than they did last year. I think they showed more gameplay last year than they did this year, which was weird to me. But this year, like, you got the release date. I forget how it is. I forget what day it is that it comes out, but I will have to check that later. And then what else did they do? They did a bunch of VR stuff, which
Yeah,
I
it was
don't know,
all
man.
VR
I don't know
stuff.
if that was a smart decision. Not a lot of people buy VR.
Yeah. Well, while we're talking about the Sony conference, can we talk about what the hell was going on at the start there with the sound?
Yeah. I almost forgot about that. Me and my brother were sitting there watching it, and we kept trying to we kept switching streams, trying to figure out what the hell was going on with the audio. And yeah, it was just the audio was really bad. We missed like 2 trailers.
Yep.
Because of it, we missed we missed Uncharted because of that. No audio from Uncharted, and we missed I think we missed the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC, but no one really cares about that. At least not me.
Yeah, someone's gonna get fired, I think.
Yeah, someone lost their job for sure. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the audio in the beginning there. It was just not really that good. Like none of the trailers they were showing were that good, and the audio just kind of covered it all up.
Yep.
So, yeah, weak conference from Sony, but I do think they brought more than Microsoft did.
Yeah. I mean, if you like that thing, I liked Microsoft a lot more, but I really only play
they had
Xbox.
Dragon
So.
Ball, and they had Life is Strange.
Oh, Life is Strange!
I saw your reaction to Life is Strange.
Oh, so good! I'm so keen, man.
Yeah, so I mean, I knew Microsoft had won you over when they showed Life is Strange.
Oh,
But if the trailer was made in such a way that if you hadn't played Life is Strange, you had no idea what was going on.
Well, it's a prequel.
They didn't scoop up. They made that trailer for people who had already played it. They didn't
Yep.
make the trailer for people who hadn't played it yet, because I saw it and I was like, okay. Like I always saw Life is Strange. I heard that they made the game to kind of raise awareness for depression and suicide and whatever. And as someone who doesn't like politics in his video games, I always kind of dismissed the game as just like, oh my god, feel bad for me, the video game. And the trailer didn't do anything to cure that. They didn't really do anything to alleviate that feeling I have about the game. It just looked like politics, the video game. I could not. I just it didn't really catch me. So you would have had to play Life is Strange 1 to really understand what was going on in the Life is Strange 2 trailer, and then really be grabbed by it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about like, oh my god, that Life is Strange 2 trailer had me crying, and all I saw was a girl smoking a cigarette.
Well, see, you say Life is Strange 2, but it's actually not Life is Strange 2 at all.
It's a prequel.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, it's a prequel. It is.
But I mean, either way, Before the Storm or whatever. That title seems a little cheesy to me too. But that's me nitpicking.
Yeah, well, see that it's referring to in the first game there was like a literal storm.
There was a literal storm.
Yes, it was sort of a big deal in the game. So, yeah.
That makes sense. That actually makes a lot more sense. I thought they were using it metaphorically,
No, no.
but I yeah, no, it didn't grab me like it grabbed everyone else. I don't understand why, but yeah, like I said, I just don't like I don't like politics in my games. When I hear that a game is made, oh, we're gonna raise awareness for something, it's like, okay, I'll pass. Because what if it's a cause I don't care about, or what if it's a cause I don't believe in?
Oh,
Then it's like the game kind of misses me.
oh, fuck the cause. Who cares about the cause? It's still a good game. Just give it a go.
That's what people. That is a good way to look at it. That is a good way to be an optimist. Yeah, they did show Uncharted 2. Some people are referring it, or no, not Uncharted 2. Oh my fucking god, dude!
There are like four
They
of them
showed
now.
Uncharted, and what was it, like feminism, Uncharted Feminism Edition? Like,
Yeah, where's Nathan Drake?
yeah, you get a white girl and a black girl, and they're doing stuff. Strong female characters. At that point, why wouldn't they announce the next Tomb Raider?
Oh yeah, for sure. Might as
Yeah.
well.
And I mean, if you're gonna like, if you've got women as the leads, and not that I have a problem with that, but if you've got women in the leads as Uncharted, people are just gonna look at it and say, oh, they're ripping off Tomb Raider, because Tomb Raider is the exact same thing with Lara Croft, and Lara Croft is just more iconic, plain and simple.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know what they're doing there. I know Nathan Drake retired in the 4th game, so
Well, I never played it, so.
hopefully he comes back or makes an appearance. After that, I mean, I don't remember much from the Sony conference. I mean, it's been a couple days now. I was kind of hoping they'd bring Twisted Metal back
Oh yeah.
again. Because do you remember? Was it 2012? They made that reboot and it was terrible.
Oh, I don't know. I never played the Twisted Metal games. That's the one with the weird clown, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's really cool. It's like a car destruction game.
Okay.
But they brought it back and it was just not as good. Old Twisted Metal games had story modes and cutscenes for every single character in the game, and this game only had cutscenes for 3 characters, and they weren't that well done. They were just kind of weird. But I was hoping that they would give it another reboot and try it again, get back on the saddle, because Twisted Metal is dope when it's done correctly. Just play any of the PS1 games. If you've still got that PS2 laying around, there were some Twisted Metal games on PS2 as well. Go it's an awesome franchise that needs to come back, but it needs to be done correctly. And I was ashamed. I was kind of upset that they didn't bring that out. That would have really sealed the deal for me.
Yeah.
And then another thing people were expecting that didn't happen was to combat the Xbox One X, which is what the Scorpio was called. Instead, everyone thought they were gonna do a price drop on the PS4 Pro. That didn't happen. PS4 Pro in Canadian dollar is about $500, or no. It's 500 US, I think, the PS4 Pro, and it's like 700 Canadian.
Yep.
And and the Xbox One X launches, and it's a fucking powerhouse, and it's the same price as the PS4 Pro. It didn't make sense for me that they didn't lower the price. I don't know. It was a very, very strange atmosphere at this E3. Very strange. It's like Microsoft and Sony were completely ignorant of each other. Like Sony, you're telling me those Japanese bastards at Sony didn't look and say, look, they're going to announce this console. It's probably going to be ridiculously overpriced. We're going to lower the price. They didn't think that. They didn't think about that. Very weird atmosphere, man. I don't know. There isn't that much to talk about, to be honest. When we first, when I was first like, oh, everyone want to get together and talk about E3. I was expecting that there would be a lot to talk about, but now it's all over, and there's only like 3 or 4 things that we can really say.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, there was a couple games that interest me actually. What's that Android one? Detroit something?
oh yeah, Detroit Become Human or something.
Yeah, that looked really good.
Yeah, that did look really good. It looked like a great story-based game. I love that. It's like iRobot from the robot's perspective.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
And not from Will Smith's. It's very, very cool concept. I'm really looking forward to seeing more. And Spider-Man too.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man looked alright. I'm.
A lot of people said. I mean, it looks just like the Arkham games,
Yep.
but it's still like, as someone who's a big fan of Spider-Man 2, like the old Spider-Man 2 game,
Yep.
I'm very keen for Spider-Man on the PS4. I'm really happy that I have a PS4 now because I can't wait. It looks like a good time. Even if the story's crap, I think they made a really good time. Also, did you notice at the end of the Spider-Man trailer that they made Peter Parker black?
Well, it's not
In
Peter
this,
Parker. It's some other guy, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it was Peter Parker.
I thought his name was like Miles something.
I don't know what the point of them showing that was. Like it would make sense. That's a kind of a superhero thing to do. You stop the bad guy, then all of a sudden like you move so quickly that you have the time to get out of your suit and then just appear on the street. Like that's something that superheroes do a lot. And I'm pretty sure it was him.
No, but
I mean,
well,
I got no problem.
well,
With
I
it.
know I know there actually is a comic about a black Spider-Man, and it's not Peter Parker. It's like Miles someone.
Oh, I wonder if they're alluding to two Spider-Mans then.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with it. Like if if a character is black, it's no big deal. But one thing that has been bugging me a lot is that they, just for the sake of diversity, all the big superhero publishers are changing their characters fundamentally. Human Torch was black not that long ago, and and then they changed a couple of the comic book story arcs so that, like, I think Shazam was a woman in one of the DC story arcs or something.
You mean
And
like
it was just like, don't
like
change what doesn't need fixing.
you mean like how now Thor's a woman?
Yeah. That's right.
The Almighty Thor.
It's dumb to me. Yeah, like, keep your politics out of the comic books. Keep your keep all that out. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, Spider-Man is black, whatever. But why would they do that? If not to please people, if not to make people think, oh, this game's diverse, that's great.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, the only thing I can really say about that Spider-Man game is I am disappointed that it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense to me. Why would it be PlayStation exclusive? So, I mean, the Spider-Man game kind of came out of nowhere as it is.
Yeah.
But then and not only that, but it's PlayStation exclusive. Like, Insomniac made an Xbox exclusive game not that long ago. Now they're working on a PlayStation exclusive game. Like, they can't pick their sides. Yeah, I don't know. Very, very strange game. But yeah, no. Is there any final? I think we covered everything that we could possibly cover. Like, everything else we're leaving out just because of lack of interest. Is there anything else that you want to say?
I did like that new Fire Emblem game.
I did not know there was a new. Where did they show that?
It's in the Nintendo conference. It's Fire Emblem Warriors. So like you know how they did Hyrule Warriors a while back? Yeah, it's sort of like that. It's like instead of a Zelda theme or a warrior theme, it's Fire Emblem characters. It's just like a basic warrior game like Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors, but yeah, it's all, Fire Emblem characters skinned over for the maps, and it looks interesting. I mean, the Hyrule Warriors was a success, so why not do it?
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, how could I forget? They brought Monster Hunter back.
Oh yes, Monster Hunter. Oh, and Shadow of the Colossus.
I talked to a lot of people. Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus and Monster Hunter, those were big. I know people have been waiting a long time. I mean, everyone was waiting for The Last Guardian because it was a spiritual successor to Shadow of the Colossus. And then they straight up brought Shadow of the Colossus back. That's awesome. That's really cool. I've never played it before, but I definitely will now because a lot of people say it's a great game.
Is that an exclusive, or is that for both?
They didn't say. I think it was just teasers with a logo flash.
Yep.
Because whenever you get your first teaser of a game, they just flash the logo, and then hey, next E3 you'll get a release date, which is dumb. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to Gamescom this August to kind of relieve the burns of E3, because E3. I mean, it was just one bad E3, but they keep doing this, man. It's on its last legs. 'Cause I'm not gonna watch E3.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any last close? I mean, I already asked you like 3 times.
Well, I've still got a couple games I want to talk about. There's what is it? Beyond Good and Evil 2. That looks alright.
Where was that? that they showed that?
If it wasn't the PlayStation one, it might have been Ubisoft.
It was probably Ubisoft because I don't remember seeing it, and I missed the Ubisoft conference.
Okay, it looks really good. It's the graphics are like it. I know I've said this a few times in some of my videos, but the graphics are crisp. They are so nice, and just the characters, like they've got some sort of monkey there he's fucking hilarious. I never played the Beyond Good and Evil, the first game, but this one looks really good, and I wouldn't mind like picking it up. It's pretty cool.
True, and then what else? Ubisoft, the Crew 2.
Oh yeah, the Crew 2. I didn't realize the
I mean,
Crew
the
was.
Crew 1 was pretty bad. I mean, I gotta be honest, the Crew 1 was kind of dumb. Because like you'd be in a car, and then if you wanted to drive like a motorcycle or something, DLC. It was like fuck. Pay to drive anything other than a car. But yeah, no, the Crew 2, as long as they don't just stuff it full of fucking DLC, could be a great game. I mean, hey, I'd like to drive a speedboat. Why not? But until they really cut that DLC shit out, I just don't see them competing with Forza.
I think the last game I wanna mention is Mario Odyssey. It seems to be like the big thing in Nintendo this year.
Yeah, a lot of talk about Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
But personally, like, I don't know. I don't really like Mario. Never ever felt it.
Fair enough. Well, I grew up with
Yeah.
Nintendo, so Mario's sort of
Oh,
a
I
big
know.
thing, yeah. And they tricked
Nintendo's
us
one
again.
of those things where... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they tricked us again. Last year when they showed the trailer off, they started with like a city, or whatever, and you think, oh, this looks like a Grand Theft Auto for Nintendo, but nah, it's Mario. And then they did the same thing this year, but with like a T-Rex. He runs out and it's like, oh, this is some cool dinosaur game. Nah, it's fucking Mario. It's like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah, Nintendo is one of those companies where if you didn't grow up with them as a kid, then you're not really gonna like them. They're
Yeah.
a completely nostalgia-based company.
Oh, for sure.
I don't know, man. Mario Odyssey looks weird. I think everything Mario Odyssey does, Sunset Overdrive did better. The bouncing on the cars and the umbrellas, the leaping from building to building. And I mean, if you really want a good open world, like jump crazy ridiculous heights and go anywhere you want experience, I would honestly have to say this year you should pick up Spider-Man instead. That's just my opinion, because Mario Odyssey, well, I'm sure it'll be a fine game, is not going to do things nearly as well as games like Spider-Man and Sunset Overdrive did.
Yep.
So, you know, that's not the best, most liked opinion, but that's just how I feel about it. Like, this comes from someone who hasn't seen that much on it, but everything I have seen just kind of points me to like a lesser version of Sunset Overdrive or Spider-Man.
Yep.
Even Prototype. If Prototype came back, that would also smush Mario under
Prototype.
its
Oh, yeah.
large foot.
Actually, that reminds me.
Prototype was a fun game. You could run up walls. You got like a sword.
Oh, that was a great game, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one mention of a game they didn't show anything of. It was just a title that they showed, and it's what was it called? Metroid Prime 4.
Oh yeah, people are all excited for the return of Metroid Prime.
Yes.
Yeah, I played Metroid Prime 3 Corruption on my Wii when it came out years ago, and I couldn't get past the first boss. I couldn't figure out how the hell to fight the boss. It was so weird. The Wii controls were janky. I didn't know what to do. But it did look like I wish I could have gotten farther in it, because apparently it was a good game.
Yep. Well,
maybe not. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I am looking forward to it. I mean, I never played the Metroid games. Or, well, that's a lie. I played like a little bit, but I would have liked it if they showed something instead of just a title drop.
See, I think that Metroid and Zelda are probably Nintendo's best franchises, and I would like, and unfortunately, I just don't think Nintendo are the people who should have them.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo is really focused on making kid-friendly games.
Yeah.
And just imagine like a more mature, more violent Metroid, and like a larger, more open scale Zelda made by somebody else.
That'd be cool.
Like anybody else would do those games better. Give Zelda to Bethesda. Bethesda will absolutely destroy Nintendo with their own franchise. You know, I just don't think. I wish that and this is terrible. I mean, this is really bad to say, but I really wish Nintendo would go. Somebody else could buy those franchises and really do something cool with them. Because Nintendo's focused on playing it safe, and that's all they ever been focused on for the past few years. They claim to innovate. You know, when Satoru Iwata died, everyone was like, "Oh my god, he was the best of his time and everything." And really, all he did was sink Nintendo as far down as he possibly. And now they're trying to pick up the pieces, and they're playing it safe. And every game coming out other than Super Mario Odyssey is just more of the same.
Yep.
I'm amazed Breath of the Wild did as good as it did, because I was fully expecting them to completely fuck it up and just play it safe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's how I've always felt about Nintendo. Like they almost always play it safe, and they haven't really, like, they've tried to innovate, but it's directly backfired in their face.
Mm-hmm.
And even the Switch, like, even though the Switch sold well, it's bending on people, and the dock is scratching the screen. And now they've got to release a whole new, like, they've got to repackage all the Switches to try and fix those issues, and we haven't heard a single thing about it yet.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. Nintendo's got me feeling some kind of way. I really can't decide how I feel about Nintendo.
Yep.
Because I haven't enjoyed anything they've made since Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Really? You didn't
And
like the other
apparently
Super
the fighting
Smash?
game community thought Brawl was a bad game.
I liked Brawl.
Yeah.
Brawl was good.
Brawl was good. As a little kid, I enjoyed it.
Yep.
As a little kid, like, I didn't care about the mechanics and everything else. I just wanted to play as fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of
So-
Sonic, what's that? What's that one they've been
Sonic
showing?
Forces?
Hey?
Sonic Forces?
No. What's the other one? It's like it's the old 2D sprites.
Sonic Mania?
Yeah, that one. That one looks really good.
Yeah. Sonic Mania, yeah. Everyone's talking about it. I'm more of a modern Sonic guy myself, though, which is not a very popular viewpoint, but I mean, Sonic Forces I'm looking forward to. And I mean, I loved Sonic Generations because that modern Sonic gameplay, and even Sonic Unleashed was really good, even though that's the minority opinion. A lot of people don't like Sonic Unleashed. I liked it because the modern Sonic gameplay was fun, and you were rewarded if you're faster. There was a great skill gap,
Yeah.
which I think Sonic needs more of. Sonic Generations was kind of boring because, I mean, they pretty much gave you the victory no matter what, and the levels weren't really that challenging. Sonic Mania, though, I think it does look like a challenging game, but I'm worried that it's going to be too easy, because that's Sonic for you. Nowadays, Sonic is just too easy. I mean, and they don't even have a difficulty slider. If they did, I would turn it all the way up to hard and play it the way it's meant to be played, but
You mentioned Bethesda earlier. I completely forgot they had a conference.
yeah, apparently they didn't announce much. What did they even talk about at their conference?
I don't know. Didn't they announce Anthem first?
No, it wasn't. Anthem is made by BioWare.
Oh, it was the
Just-
EA one, wasn't it?
EA.
Yeah. Oh, good. Beyond Good and Evil might have been Bethesda. I can't remember now. I can't remember anything about Bethesda.
That's really weird. Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't show anything. Said Bethesda's conference was also pretty bad.
Yeah.
Because there's just no games right now.
Yeah.
Even like it's gonna be a very boring game season if they don't announce anything at Gamescom, because there's just nothing. There's just nothing there. There's sadly not a lot of games, especially not on Xbox. I think the biggest feature coming this year, before the end of the year, is probably backwards compatibility for original Xbox games. And if they don't turn the servers on, it's gonna be a really boring game season, man.
Yeah.
Really, really boring. I think Sony's got the best game season probably, and I mean, even their stuff, it's just more of the same. It's coming out in 2018.
Yeah. It's funny how you say there's nothing at Microsoft, yet they're all like, we have 42 new games. But where are they?
Shitty architecture games.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah, no, it's bad. They really gotta sort their shit out, man. Gotta sort their shit out, because this E3 was painful to watch, man. I'm like, you know what's funny? At the beginning of the Microsoft conference, they flashed MechAssault gameplay. You know, do you remember at the beginning when they were showing all the different resolution sizes, and they showed Halo 1, and then there was MechAssault right after that.
Oh, did they?
The cougar stomping around. Yeah, it was really cool. And then I took that as a sign. I'm like, they didn't forget. There's a new MechAssault game coming, and then there's no mention of it. Really weird. But I know Phil Spencer, man. He teases, and he plays the long game. It'll be like he'll tease MechAssault this one time, and then there will be like a remaster or something 2 years from now.
Yeah.
That dude plays the long game. So we'll have to see. I am hoping though. I said before, I'm hoping they hold back on MechAssault because Wolves is in development and we don't want to lose that. If MechAssault comes out, Wolves is pretty much at that point. There's no reason for Wolves to exist. We pretty much have to stop development.
Yep.
But we just got a new build of Wolves actually. Internally, we've got a main menu running now. It's really cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's although we can't share it publicly, unfortunately, because if we do, there might be some problems.
Yeah.
People might say our assets look like shit.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I was not happy. No, I don't think anyone was really truly happy. But yeah, if there's nothing else, is there anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
If there's nothing else, guys. That is going to be it for us. Thank you for checking out our podcast, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Yep.